Hi there, it's Kristen with another fun craft, this time accompanying the story of the Rich Man and Lazarus, to which, if you watched our children's message, the take we're going on is putting God first and having Him come number one above and beyond anything else in our lives. And so the craft that we're going to make today is sort of a take on a clock. We're going to make a little decoration reminder to always put God first above anything else that might come or occupy our time. So what you're going to need are a few simple tools. You will need a paper plate, some construction paper, which I have already cut this into arrow shapes. You may need to cut them out yourself, and you're going to want a big arrow and a small arrow shape. So these are both small. You're going to need a bigger one as well. You're going to need some glue, some decorative materials, Sharpies, markers, crayons, colored pencils, whatever floats your boat, and also a brad fastener. This is called a brad. It has this little golden head on top and these little pokey prong things in the back. It's very handy for making anything that you need to have movable parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by talking once again about how it's important to place God first and foremost in our lives. Then you'll have the kids write down some things on their plate that might take up their time. Things like school or shopping, or maybe you can have them write something like sports or video games or even something like money. Well, at the very top of your plate, you want to write God. Or you can just have them put a big cross or write Jesus or faith, but you want to remember that that's the number one most important thing. So after you've written those things down, then you're going to take your big arrow and you're going to glue your big arrow into the center of the plate so that it is pointing straight up at the part that says God. You want to glue it so that it stays, because you want to remind the kids that that is always the number one thing. That's not going to change. Now, if you would like to, you can decorate it further. You can add some stickers. Now it's time to take your brad. Now it may be helpful to poke a hole in the plate prior with maybe some scissors to help the brad to go in, because you're going to take the brad, you're going to poke it through the smaller arrow, and then poke it into the plate. So now this smaller arrow is showing that other items in your life might change around, that maybe sometimes you're playing video games, and sometimes you're at school, and sometimes you're at sports, and sometimes you're going shopping. But the important part is that God stays number one. So in spite of all these other things that might demand your time and attention, which can change and rotate around, God is first and foremost in our lives, and that does not change. And so, after you're done decorating this, kids can take it home, hang it on a fridge, hang it on a wall, hang it in a bedroom, hang it at a door, somewhere that they can remember to always put God first and foremost above all other things. So, have fun, go make some crafts, go make some disciples. See you next time.